Hi everybody, welcome to Across the Pond. This is March, and I'm QJ, and this is Dan. You were supposed to jump in and say hi, I'm Dan.
Hi, how's it going? Yeah, well, I figured I'd just let you awkwardly trail off, see what happened.
That's what happened.
QJ, it's really early in the morning for you right now, are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that early in the morning, but I stay up really late because I'm trying to finish, one book and one game per week, so I've been staying up really late, trying to work on that. And
that
my
was
sleep
a
pattern's
really
awful.
good segue. That's a really good introduction there.
Well,
you segued straight into the purpose of the show.
It's the purpose of my life
It's less
now.
graceful now that I've called attention to it, but, you did it. Well done. So yeah, the purpose of Across the Pond is that we are both trying to do some goals this year, and I guess we can jump straight into yours, can't we?
Yeah, we can do that. Should I start with books or should I start with games?
Normally you start with games, so for the sake of consistency, I would say do that.
Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at my doc to see the games I've played. So I've played 5 games this month, playing catch-up. First game...
Catch-up isn't a game, dude.
First game I finished was Donkey Kong Country Returns. And I talked a little bit about this game last month, and this game was so hard and so repetitive, and I just... What I kept saying is it's a game that I love to hate, because I was hating every minute of it when I played it, and yet I kept playing it, and part of me was enjoying it, and I'm not sure what it was, but I kept going back to it, and I would play it and be like, oh, this is fun, this is enjoyable, maybe it's the movements of the game, but every time I died, I was like, ah! And
I think it's also because you know that if you do manage to finish a level that you've been struggling with, you know it's going to be satisfying and it's going to feel good, you know?
Oh yeah, it was so satisfying finishing each level. It was a pretty good game, although I don't know if this is true, I feel like it's a gaming flaw if the only way you can beat a level is by memorizing it and trying 1,000 times and knowing exactly what's coming and exactly what buttons you have to push and using, muscle memory to get through it. I don't think that makes a very good game. So, I don't know.
I can agree with you on that, but I don't think Donkey Kong Country Returns does it as much as you think. Because a lot of those, I can't think of that many levels in that game where you actually do need muscle memory. I can think of quite a few where I was able to get through them on, for the most part, just on reactions alone. So maybe it's just that you haven't developed... Because there are definitely games like that, stuff like Cloudberry Kingdom, which I've been playing this month, and Super Meat Boy and I Want to Be the Guy, and stuff like that, where you just have to memorize it and there's absolutely no skill involved. It's just memorizing a pattern. But I feel like Donkey Kong Country Returns isn't... It's far more forgiving than a lot of things are in that regard.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely felt like it was very heavy on that. But it was
it's not exactly an easy game.
It was interesting.
I'll give you that one.
Because it was really pretty to look at, and the movements of the game were enjoyable. It was just so difficult for me. And, Spiegel would tell me that he, hated the rocket barrel levels, and they were... I felt like those and the minecart levels were, I would die.
Those are the worst for memorization. I'll give you that.
I would die so many times and be like, I hate the world! But as soon as I would start the level again, I'd be like, woo, this is fun. I'm on a little minecart, wee. And then I would die and be like, ah! So, that game...
Those are the worst levels for that.
That game made me punch a lot of stuff, and I actually still have a bruise on my right hand from hitting an old wine crate that we use as food stands by our couch. So yeah. And
it's a good game. I enjoy it though. It is really pretty. The graphics are really well done. It's good. I like it.
Yeah. And I admit maybe near the end I was just completely fed up because I kind of cheated on the very, very last level, because I found out you can do that thing where you bring in I forget what it's called. Yep. You can bring in a super Donkey Kong, and he's silver, and he does half the level for you. Yeah. And I just watched him do it, and I was like, I don't know, I could have done that, but I just don't want to anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. And I did that with... I kind of did that with a different game that I finished. Sorry for the horrible, disappointing segue. I played Super Mario 3D World, and last month I finished Super Mario 3D Land, and I felt like there was absolutely no difference between these games. I feel like the makers were like, here are 1,000 Mario levels. We'll put 500 in this game and 500 in this game, and there's no difference.
Interesting.
And Spiegel mentioned, and I agree, that the game renders itself a lot better to a mobile device, which is why I didn't like playing it on the TV very much. I mostly just looked at the gamepad when I played it. There was something about this game, though, that really lacked motivation, because I played it and I didn't have a lot of, like, yearning to get all the stars and all the coins, and I kind of just played through each level, and I just wanted to be done with them. And so by the end of it, I feel like this is not a very nice review, because it was a good game and it's fun, and Catsuit Mario is the freaking cutest thing in the world. I love the cat suit. But by the end of it, I was just like, maybe it was just because I played Super Mario 3D Land right before it, but I was kind of done with that style.
That's fair enough.
So
I haven't played that one, but I've heard it's good, so this is interesting to me.
Yeah. So admittedly, I got through all the worlds, and the very last world has like 7 mini worlds, or whatever you call them, and then 3 bosses. And I got to the end of all the little worlds, but I didn't get to the 3 bosses, because I got there and I was just like, no, I feel like I've finished this game as far as I want to, and I'm not having any fun anymore. So, as far as I'm concerned, I finished that game.
I'd like to see what you think of Super Mario Galaxy, if you ever get around to playing that.
I want to play that. It looks really good.
Yeah, it's a good game, but there are some levels where the gravity mechanics are kind of like, it might be hard to get used to, because at times it's kind of disorientating and confusing, but I think you'd probably have fun. Like, I remember when I first played Super Mario Galaxy, I was just completely entranced with it, and I didn't stop. Like, I didn't even stop when I first completed it. I 100% completed that game like 4 times in a row before I put it down.
Whoa.
So, yeah, I really liked that game when it came out.
Yeah, I've seen some playthrough footage of it, and it looks really cool. Like,
yeah, it does. It is cool.
What was I about to say? It looks like a mix between one of the Super Mario 3D games and Mario 64. And it's just, there's a lot more to it. I feel like there's a lot more creativity in it, and I feel like that's what
there is.
What 3D World lacked, was just, it didn't keep me interested.
Interesting. Yeah, every level in Galaxy kind of feels very different, and like there's all these different things you can find, and the design is good. It's a good, really good game.
So this is kind of a backwards segue. Another game I finished was Captain Toad. And I've talked about this the last couple episodes. It's adorably fun. Sometimes it's really aggravating to get all the accomplishments. But this one had a lot more motivation for me to get every single gem in every level and every little mini accomplishment. I felt like the game was a lot gentler on me, because Toad can't really run fast or jump, and a lot of it is very stoic, because you just have to really stare at the world and like move the camera around and find things in a quiet, like serene
it's more of
way.
A puzzle than a reaction based thing, right? So
it's great, but they still have the reaction like style. Man, I don't know what I'm saying. They have the stuff in there that other video games do. Like, you do have to still defeat enemies and sometimes move really fast through a line of bullet bills. And so the game has a lot of variation to each level, and a lot of them have really cool graphic styles. Like, there's this one level that's basically a pinball machine, and you get shot all over the place, and you have to go through specific pegs and holes and like fall through pipes and like not get hit by all these crazy things that are flying through the pinball machine, and it's really colorful and has crazy music, and it's a lot of fun. There's another level that looks exactly like a really old Donkey Kong arcade game, and so like barrels are falling all over the place and you have to climb up and down ladders, and it's really cool. They incorporated a lot of neat graphics into that game.
Oh, you've actually beaten games this month. I'm genuinely proud of you. So that's like 3 then.
Yes. Another game I beat, and this one might surprise you, was I beat Shadow of Colossus.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I did.
Oh, this is... I'm so glad you didn't tell me this before. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it?
I mean, it took so much time and a lot of trial and error, but it was really cool.
Right. It is so cool.
It was really cool.
I love that game.
I mean, it took a lot of my patience because, like, one thing I didn't like about, like, a long time ago, Spiegel tried to get me to play Majora's Mask, which I didn't have the patience for because I hate just, like, running across long areas of field to get somewhere where I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
But, like...
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus does that a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so I was like...
I'm not going to deny that. It's pretty rough.
So, but thankfully this game had pretty good direction. Like, I normally knew which way to go, but...
Yeah.
Like, I just kept falling off the dang things, and it was really hard to just finish.
Oh.
So yeah, that game took a lot of time.
It's a cool game though, isn't it?
Which is, yeah. So that's one of the reasons I haven't completely caught up yet, is that game took so much of my time.
Which was your favorite Colossus though?
Actually, it was the one in the water.
Which one the one under the water, like the swimming one?
Yeah, the one that was like an underwater like dragon, like coming up and out. Well, because it like
easily my least favorite one.
It like scared the crap out of me, and I think that was what I liked, is it got the best reaction out of me. I was like, because I hate things like coming out of the water or out of deep space.
Yeah,
like those are kind of like my fears a little bit, is when I see something deep in the water that's like huge. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I don't like that one because it's just annoying to fight, to be honest. Like, really annoying to fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite one is the bird, because he's just peaceful, and then you start annoying him with arrows, and then he's like, right, go away. Like, the thing I like about the game is, like, almost all of the Colossus, like, they don't attack you, they're just peaceful things, and you're the bad guy. It's so good. So good.
Alright, so because that game took so much of my time, one of the games I finished only took me about 2 nights, and that was Splatoon.
Yeah.
And after playing through the single player of Splatoon, I can still say Splatoon is my favorite video game.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It caters to your needs.
It really does, because it's very easy. And I felt like I was playing it and I was like, this is really easy, but not in an uninteresting, stupid way. Like, I was just having so much fun.
Kirby games.
Yeah. It's kind of like when I'm reading a kid's book, it's simple, but it's still very good for what it is. And there was just there wasn't very much variety between levels, because I was just doing the exact same movements and motions, but there was just enough variety to keep it a little interesting. Like, they would incorporate new ways to move from platform to platform, or difficult ways in which you were trying to defeat the enemies and you had to come up with new tactics. Maybe this is wrong, but I've heard a lot of people complain about the final boss, and I loved
it. Takes forever. It takes I think he's really good. I think it's a really cool, well-designed boss. I think the music is great. The character is great.
Yeah.
But it does take a year. Because it's about a 12-phase boss, and by the end of it, you're just like, when is this over?
Yeah, but I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like it was tedious. I was having so much fun doing it, and I think that's just because I love the controls and movements of the game in general. That the whole time I was like, I get to shoot my gun and swim through ink, and this is my life.
You're just kind of happy to be there, you know?
Yeah, but
You're just like, yay, squids.
yes, but the villain was so silly. Like, he just kept popping up,
Yeah,
and
he's
he's
cool.
like, I'm a DJ, and he would say stuff like, I'm gonna wreck your face, you slimy hipster, and oh, my beats. And I'm like, what is up with this guy? Like, he stole a poor, like, electric eel or something because he wanted to play his crappy music over Inkopolis, and he was just pissed off that no one liked him as much as they liked Callie and Marie's music. And so he was being mean because no one liked his music, and I just thought that was mean for him to call me names.
And then you killed him.
Yes. Well, he was being mean to the electric eel, and eels are endangered, so.
So you killed him.
Yeah. And now he is extinct.
Rip in peace. Rip in peace, octopus DJs.
So that was one game last month that I finished, and 4 games this month that I finished, because...
How many months are we into the year? How many weeks, sorry?
How many weeks? I don't know. Definitely not 6. More than 6. I still need to play catch up, because...
As of recording, we're 12 weeks in.
Guess what, Dan?
What?
I lied to you.
Oh.
I didn't play one of those games.
You didn't play one of those games. Oh, okay. Here's, you brought my own tricky little game to me, haven't you?
I did.
What is this? Here's the thing, QJ. I think it's Shadow of the Colossus.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, because you've watched Game Grumps play it, so...
Well, yeah. And
nice try, though.
Heck, no, I would not last 10 minutes of that game. I would never even try it.
That was convincing, though. I wouldn't have believed that you hadn't played it, until you said that you hadn't played one of them.
Thank you very
and
much.
Even then I was doubtful, because I was like, you could have lied about one of the other ones.
Yeah, it was...
you could have lied about Splatoon.
I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well done. You lied to me, and that's kind of upsetting. I've never lied about watching a film that you love.
No, you never lie.
No, I never lie.
No, you're a good friend.
Yep, good friend over here. Oh, that was some M. Night Shyamalan twist right there that you just pulled.
Oh yeah, it was great. I am so smart.
Yeah, it's 10 out of 10. SMRT. Where's that from? Is that Simpsons?
Yes. I am so smart. SMRT.
Good. Well, that's all your games, right, then?
That's all the games I've played so far. I'm still playing catch up.
Are you going to continue to lie? If you...
No,
catch
I
up
never
isn't a
lie.
game. I don't know why you keep saying you're playing it. I don't know why you keep saying you're playing catch up. Like, that's a condom, not a video game.
Okay. Moving on. I'll go quickly through the books I've read this month, because I need to think of another phrase for because I was hurrying to get closer to my goal of 1 per week. I was reading a lot of children's books because they are shorter and simpler, but I only read good kids books, as you guys know. One of them was the 6th How to Train Your Dragon book by Cressida Cowell, and I think you suggested these books to me a long time ago because you hate on the movies pretty hard.
Yeah, I do.
But I adore these books. I don't want to go into
that because that upsets people.
I adore these books. They're really cute. They're really silly. I like the main character a lot, and Toothless as a little dragon that's the size of a rabbit is just so annoying and always making trouble for everybody.
He's just a turd, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's an absolute turd, and he's the best.
But this book was really
act
cute.
Like a cat.
It's funny because the last book I read, the 5th one, had a really dark ending, and it was quite shocking.
It's been so long. I haven't read any of them since I was a kid, so I honestly don't remember. I don't know if I even got to the 5th or 6th one, to be honest.
Oh wow. Yeah, the last one had something to do with like a broken relationship and like these 2 people that were in love and never found each other because some villain like stole the secret like jewel they were keeping to keep their love alive, and then But because of that, someone else went and married Hiccup's dad, and if that hadn't happened, he would never have been born. And it was this all big deal. It was crazy.
Interesting.
But this one I read was fun because it was all about stealing a book from a heavily guarded library. And at the end of the book, Hiccup was like, I don't think libraries should be banned because books are not bad and they can help us. Because all the Vikings are like, books are horrible, they're stupid, we shouldn't read, and it's all about fighting. And Hiccup's like, no, we should read, it's good. And I'm like, yay!
I think I have read that one. I think I vaguely remember them stealing a book, but it's been so long. So
that was cool because I love libraries and I am all for them.
That's good.
So it was, it's fun. Those books are really well illustrated. They're really silly.
Yeah, they are. They're super good. I love them.
So a couple other books I read. I told you recently about this series called Warriors. It's a Warrior series, and
yes, you did.
I started reading this series when I was about 13, and I haven't stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And so
now
far,
you're 15, and you love it.
No, I'm 23. I've been reading this series for 10 years, and books have not stopped coming out. I think right now there's about 42 of these books.
What?
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like 14 or something, not 40. That's so many. How? What?
Like, about 3 books a year come out, I'd say.
How did...
They make...
Is it by different authors? Or
There are 3 women that write these books, and they all...
Oh, okay.
They all go under one pseudonym. You know, so they all work on these books together.
Yeah, that's fair.
Each different series, or like each installment of the series has 6 books. And so there'll be like 6 books, and they all tell one big adventure story. And then like the next 6 books will be like the next generation, or the next, whatever adventure they have to go through. These books are about cats, by the way. They are cats that live in the forest, and they all have crazy, like, Native American sounding names, and they live in clans, and they fight to survive, and they fight each other, and they, like, just go through all this almost human, like, drama nonsense, and I just eat it up like candy. I can't get enough of it. I'm obsessed with this series. I just can't stop.
Just because it's cats. You're just a crazy cat lady, aren't you?
Not because it's cats. I mean, like, it kind of started that way, but I just love... I don't know, I love the way it's written. And it's not, like... It's not groundbreaking literature. It's not fantastic. But it... Like, I don't know, it really works on me the way... Because they target a specific audience of people that just love continuing with specific types of characters. And I don't know, it says a lot, I think, that they've been putting out books for so many years and people just haven't stopped reading them, and they keep putting them out because they're making so much money. And authors have been doing this for years. I can think of a lot of series where, there's no end in sight. Really, an author has a specific character or group of characters, and then every year or so, they will just dole out a new book, and they're like, this is Tarzan's new adventure, or this is the new Little Women book, when there's like 8 of them, or, I mean, How to Train Your Dragon has like
Goosebumps.
13 books. Yeah, sure.
Because aren't there like millions of Goosebumps ones?
Yep.
Just so many.
And people will just keep reading them because they love the style.
Yep.
And so, lots of different authors and series have done that throughout the years, and this one's just totally worked itself on me. So I read the latest...
All the cats.
Sure. I read the latest 2 books. One, they have really dorky names. One was called Path of Stars, and one was called The Apprentices Quest. And these books have a knack for really breaking my heart, because there will often be a point where either someone dies, or someone gets separated from someone else, or something just horribly sad happens. And I'm like, why am I getting so worked up over cats? This is really emotional. And I'll tell you, the first one I finished this month, I was on the last page, and it was taking me minutes to finish it because I couldn't see it because I was crying so hard.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah, it was
I mean, I can't really
awful.
judge because I was put in tears by Groot comic the other week, so I can't. I'm not gonna make fun of you because
I can't wait to read
it
that.
happens, you know.
Yep.
It's really good. But yeah, books, cat books.
Cat books. They're wonderful. I'm gonna keep reading them. There'll probably be a couple more out this year, so they'll be on my 5252 as well.
Sweet. I look forward to hearing more about cat books.
Yeah, maybe I'll go into more detail about the characters next time. Another book I finished was, in a way, it was a reread. I finished the first Harry Potter book.
Lame.
And it was the illustrated version. They put out an illustrated version, and it's really, really pretty. It's illustrated by Jim Kay, I think his name was, and each page just has like...
I thought you were going to say Jim Carrey for a second.
Yeah!
And I was just imagining it's just a photo shoot of him as every character in costume and everything.
No,
it's not even
not
like
photos.
drawn by him.
It's like...
That would be hilarious, though.
Almost like... I don't think it's watercolors, but it has that kind of style, because all the pages kind of look like they're watermarked. Yeah. And it's really pretty, because a lot of characters are drawn in certain ways I never would have imagined them. And there's just lots of really, really cool images of Hogwarts and of, Diagon Alley and different things over this whole world, and it's just really vibrant, and I loved looking at all those illustrations.
Do the images all conform to the movie representations, or do they do a different take on it?
They do not conform to the movie.
Okay, that's cool. Because
I
was just interested because it's that's cool.
Yeah,
it would probably annoy some fans, but I think that's quite cool.
Guess.
Just like having a different person's perspective on interpreting the text instead of just.
That's what was kind of neat about it. Is it didn't really take his interpretation of the movie. He just read the story as he saw it and drew things the way he saw them in his head.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this version of the book was actually the British text, which is quite different from the Americanized text. And I like the British text a lot better.
So you got the proper words.
Yeah, I did. Except the weird thing about this version...
in the right place.
The weird thing about this version was they still called it Sorcerer's Stone and not Philosopher's Stone. And they changed everything back to normal. They changed everything back to normal except the title. And I was like, what did you... Why? Ugh. I guess just really to appeal to the people who like the title.
But why? Isn't it like they thought Americans wouldn't get the title Philosopher's Stone, so they had to change it so that it's simpler or something?
I guess.
So wasn't that the reason? Because that's really patronising if it is.
No one knows what a Philosopher's Stone is.
But it's a thing in the story. Why change it? It's dumb.
Yeah, it is
I
dumb.
even like Harry Potter and I think that's dumb.
But it was cool reading through it, and every now and then I would get to a sentence and just be like, I have no idea what that word is, because it's British vernacular.
Was it like, you what, mate, Voldemort? I'll wreck you. Come fight me IRL, mate.
Exactly.
Come down the estates, I'll bash your nut in with my club. You got a Rizzler for my Siggy. Yeah.
Wow.
I know English things.
Yeah, I do not.
I'm going to assume that none of that made sense to anyone.
It's funny because a lot of that wasn't even British talk, it was internet talk.
True.
This is not the internet version of Harry Potter.
That would be pretty funny though.
But yeah, I love the story just as much as every time I read it. This was the 6th time I have read this book. And I will never stop. The scene when Harry looks in the mirror of Erised and sees his parents always makes me tear up.
Wow. Yeah, I know, it's really weird seeing Darth Vader knocking about that early in the series. It's like, whoa. Because, Darth Vader is Harry's dad. Did you not know that? Is that a spoiler? Yeah.
Dang it, Dan. I haven't watched Star Wars yet.
And then, the Balrog kills Dumbledore, and it's like, oh man, didn't see that coming.
Okay. So I want to.
Did you want me to have a serious conversation about Harry Potter?
No, just shut up. So I'll probably continue reading this series. I don't know if I want to put that many rereads on my list. I might though, because they still take time. But I think if I read the rest of the series this year, I want them to continuously be the British text. And I don't own copies of the British text except the first one, but that's the only illustrated version. So I think if I win the lottery and get really rich, I'll buy a whole new set of British Harry Potter books, and
then you can pick out phrases and just like ask me what they mean on the show. It'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember any specific ones?
Because I'm interested. I wish I had written them down.
You should have. It would have been great.
I've gone all silent because I'm thinking really hard. I don't want to think too hard. It hurts this early in the morning.
What, like 11:30?
Sure. Yeah. That's a.
Is it 11:30?
That's a British phrase, isn't it?
No, I mean like the time. What?
Yeah, we don't say 11:30.
Right, I'll cut all this.
It's 11:30.
Well, yeah, it's 11:30. It's 11:30. That's.
Why would you cut this? Don't cut this. This is so interesting.
What? A stupid argument about how you say the time. Why would I keep this in? Give me a good reason. Justify it.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got nothing. You're still trying to think of Harry Potter things. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, and I don't want to like get up and go get the book and flip through pages and be like, oh, there's the things that are different.
All right, here's what we'll say. Do it between now and next month. Go and look up some stuff. And we'll do it next month as a feature. How does that sound?
Sounds cute.
Right, tune in next month for British phrases. It'll be great. Everyone's gonna look forward to that.
Right, this next one's kind of interesting. I read this manga called Evergreen, and I didn't think that I was gonna be counting like mangas and comics and graphic novels, but this one was only 4 volumes, but it still took a lot of my time because the story was very deep and very well written out, where by the time I was done, I felt like I had read a real book, and not, because manga sometimes seems like, kind of like I'm reading a TV series, but it had a really good, like, I'm doing that, like, motion with my hand where I'm making, like, a kind of like a mountain in the air where I'm going up and down, because like, you know how story arcs, they have like a rise to the story, and then it plateaus at the climax, and then it like dies back down as the story like ends. I'm being so English major eloquent right now, you can't even handle it.
Let's see. Right? It's great. I love that you're doing a visual representation with your hand that like no one can see, so it's just wasted.
Espeon just hit the microphone with her tail. So the author of this is Yuyuko Takamiya, and she actually wrote a different manga, of which I really like the anime. She's a really good author. No.
Is it One Piece?
Be quiet, Dan. So yeah, this manga is called Evergreen, and it's a really great story. It's a love story, and then there's like a tragedy, and then they have to deal with that. And I mean, I guess I can just say it. No one's probably gonna care. Spoiler alert. Like, click on something else now if you don't want to know about this manga called Evergreen, which is fantastic. It's like this dorky guy who's in love with this really pretty athletic girl, and he doesn't know if she knows he exists, but secretly she like reads the column that he reads, and so then they're all like, oh, we love each other, and then they go on a date, and like it goes really well, and then somehow they find out that they are really half siblings, and so it's this big awful thing because they share a father, and like she ends up hating him because as a child he was like a really sickly kid, and he was a really sickly kid, and he took their father away from her life because he had to go take care of him. Like she was in love with him for a while, and then she's like, crap, he's my brother. He's that kid that I hated, and now I still hate him, and it's this whole big deal. And then he like saves her life. And I'm making it sound super boring, but it's really well written out. It's very emotional.
Yeah, is there any ninja jitsus?
You're gonna cut out your whole dialogue, right? Because you're really bugging me.
Well, I'm just using my weeaboo anime mango knowledge that I have.
But it has a really bittersweet ending. They end up like sort of being friends and not really telling anyone what happened. But it's a really sweet manga. I definitely count it because it is novel worthy. So those are my video games and my readings for the month of March.
Cool.
The end.
Cool. The end. End of show. Just kidding. We got to do my bit now. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you prepared?
I'm prepared.
Okay, I've watched 3 movies this month. I'm gonna talk about 4 of them briefly. One of them I haven't seen. Are you ready? Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
So pumped. I know, right? Alright, so the first movie I watched was a movie called Attack the Block. It's a British indie movie about a bunch of chavs who fight aliens. And that sounds really dumb, but it's actually incredibly well made. It's well produced, well directed. The entire thing is just generally funny and enjoyable.
Oh. Anyone interesting in it?
The second movie I watched... Anyone interested? John Boyega's in it. The guy from the new Star Wars is in it. Oh. Nick Frost is in it.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
All right.
It's a good little cast.
I've never heard of it.
The second... Well, you wouldn't have, because it's a weird little... I just wanted to watch it because John Boyega was in it, to be honest. And I like that guy. He's cool.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Then I watched The Punisher from 2004. Because, I love me some comic book movies. It's, here's the thing. I went from watching Daredevil Season 2, which has The Punisher in it and does The Punisher incredibly well, to watching the 2004 Punisher movie. Because I was like, it's on Netflix, I might as well. So, it's okay. Like, it doesn't do a horrible job of it. Like, the action's quite good. The characters are decently conveyed. John Travolta's in it, which is interesting. But, I mean, it's okay. It's not horrible. It's not the best. It kind of just exists. I don't really know why I watched it. It was just kind of like, I'm craving more Punisher after Daredevil Season 2. There's a Punisher movie. I'm gonna watch it. The third movie I watched was Zootropolis, or Zootopia, depending on where you're from.
I'm sorry, Zootropolis.
They changed the name for the UK.
Why?
And I kind of think... I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I kind of think that Zootropolis sounds better as a name of a city, so I would rather call it that.
You know that Zootopia is a play on words with Utopia.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense if you change it to Zootopolis. Zootopolis.
Yeah, but
Zootropolis.
It's the name of... but you know the Zootropolis is a pun on the name Metropolis, right?
And what does the movie have to do with Superman?
It doesn't.
Doesn't Superman live in Metropolis?
Metropolis is just like a general city term, I think.
Where does Superman live?
I think it is Metropolis, but you know.
He lives on the Daily Planet.
Then the final film, Batman vs. Superman, Yawn of Justice. It's not very good. It's just not very good, QJ. There's so many regrets. You want to know what the best part about going to the cinema to see Batman vs. Superman was?
Wonder Woman?
Nope, it was the fact that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 trailer played before it.
Oh my gosh, you're just never going to stop going on about that.
No, because it's the best cut trailer in the history of anything.
Dang. Was the trailer better than the whole movie?
It will be, yeah. It will totally be, but I'm going to watch it anyway. Before I go into more detail on the ones I did watch, do you want to do a bit of quizzing to try and work out what I did and did not watch?
I don't know, because I have not seen Zootopia yet. I did not watch Batman vs. Superman because I do not give a crap about either of those characters. They have their dumb little sibling rivalry, and Wonder Woman has to come in and be like, both of you just go to your room and shut up. And then she's going to have her own movie, and those two can just, like, go play Monopoly or something. Be boring together.
Yeah, the best board game.
Yeah, the best board game for the best superheroes. Anyway, what were the others? There was that indie film, and then there was The Punisher.
Yep, Attack the Block, Punisher, yep.
You know, I have a feeling you said you only went to the cinema once, and I don't really see why you would lie about that silly indie film or The Punisher, because those seem like movies you would just watch because you were bored and you were kind of interested in the character and the actor. So, you know, I think it was Batman vs. Superman.
Yes, you took the bait.
Yeah?
You took the bait. For several days now, I have been lying about... I've been deliberately withholding the fact that I've really wanted to rant about it in our chat, but I've been withholding the fact that I've seen it. So, no, It's not Batman vs. Superman. What's your second guess?
Zootopia?
Nope.
No.
I did go to the cinema twice. I lied to you, Cujo.
Wow, how sad.
I lied.
There wasn't really any bait there, though, because I didn't really pay attention to any conversations you had about Batman versus Superman. I just didn't.
Yeah, no, I just
didn't think you saw
careful.
Because I didn't think you'd want to see it.
I needed to see it. I needed to see how bad it was. I'll go on. Right, what do you think I didn't see out of The Punisher and Attack the Block?
I don't know.
I really want you to get, like, a complete failure here. If you get this wrong, complete failure.
The sad thing is, I literally don't care.
Yeah, but I need you to guess. I need to know if you completely failed. It's a 50-50. Just take a guess.
Was it that indie film?
Booyah! I didn't see The Punisher. 100% victory for me. I win.
Very nice.
I win.
Very nice, Dan.
Okay, Attack the Block is it's a really good movie. It's really fun. But at the same time, it's like dark. It has this like solid meaning behind it, because it's about a bunch of sort of youths living in like a poor area of London. So they're all kind of like, they feel like the world's against them, and there's this really good dynamic there. And it's over the course of the film, like at the start you think this is a funny, dumb film about some chavs beating up aliens, but as it goes on, there's a lot more depth there, and it develops it really well, and it's a great movie. So that's Attack the Block. I'm kind of rushing now because I want to get to Batman vs. Superman, because I need to rant about it. I know, right? You ready?
No.
You ready for this?
Not ready for it.
Okay, Zootropolis or Zootopia, whatever, is probably the most fun movie I've seen in a long time. It's
okay.
I genuinely, I had a smile on my face the entire time. It had me laughing the whole way through. It's got so much heart. It's wonderful. Like, it's a really good film. Disney they're on the right track. I mean, they're not, because they're doing Frozen 2, so like, but like every non-princess movie that Disney has made recently has been incredibly good. So good for you, Disney.
Pixar
You're doing good.
aside.
You're doing good work. But like, you know, it's just really good. It's teeming with creativity. The animation style is perfect. All of the fur looks perfect. And I was reading about it. Apparently they rendered all of the fur for all of the different animals, like, realistically. They looked at how that fur works on the animals, and then they rendered it as it should be.
Yeah, I read that too.
This is too much work.
There's like 80 or something different kinds of animals, and they designed different kinds of fur for all of them. And like each different animal has like hundreds of thousands of individual animated pieces of fur. And part of me is like, that is way too much effort. But
the thing is, it really pays off though, because it means the film looks just amazing. Like,
and I'm glad to hear that. Like, so like the story was really good and all that.
Yeah,
because
the story it's not hugely depthy. I don't really want to complain about anything because I don't want to spoil it, but it's it's less about the story and more about the character and the characters and the charm, and the humor is just so on point throughout the whole thing that the story isn't perfect, but it's the one thing that's a little bit lackluster in the movie, but you don't notice it because the entire thing is just like a perfect ride for everything else.
I look forward to seeing it. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
It's really good. I think you'd enjoy it.
Because I have a lot of animator friends or like artist friends that would post about it saying like, this movie's so good because they put a lot of effort into the animation, and I would just think that's neat, but I don't think that's what makes a good film, because I think back to movies like Fantastic Mr. Fox, which was stop motion claymation, and some of the characters just looked really doofy with their scraggly fur or the way they were made.
Yeah.
And I thought that movie was amazing. So I'm like, you can have all the new technologies for animation that you want, but if the story isn't written well, to go with it, it's not going to make it a great film. So I'm glad to hear that that paid off.
Yeah, it's definitely really good. And the thing is, the animation stuff, they studied animals, so like the way the characters move helps sell their character, you know. So like Judy Hopps is a bunny, and she's kind of enthusiastic and positive and stuff, and the way she moves is really conveys that sort of thing.
Oh,
and
neat.
Other characters do the same thing. So it's really smart, it's really good, it's really clever. Like, it's just good. It's a really good movie, and I think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd have a lot of fun.
Cool.
Do you want the rant? Is it time?
I suppose it's time.
Oh, okay. I don't even know where to start with this complete mess of a movie. Okay. So the first hour and a half, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. All right? Batman hates Superman. Superman does virtually nothing. He occasionally saves some people, but mostly he just mopes around. Lex Luthor hates Superman as well. And then nothing else happens, really, until like 2/3 of the way through the movie, when finally they fight.
And why do they fight?
Okay, I'm going to put up a little tag here saying, skip if you don't want to hear spoilers, because I'm going to spoil this movie, because I don't care. Like, who cares? It's not good. But if you don't want to hear spoilers, there's a timestamp on screen right now. Go to that timestamp. Okay, so Batman is against Superman because he thinks that Superman eventually could destroy the world, kill a load of people. He did in Man of Steel, to be fair, so Batman kind of has good reason for this. They imply very, very flimsily that Lex Luthor has been gradually pushing Batman towards hating Superman, but it's never really shown that he's been doing this. He just kind of drops a line of dialogue where he suggests that he might have been. So that's an interesting idea. It's just not very well developed. And then the best part is Superman would not fight Batman normally, right?
Yeah.
So Lex Luthor kidnaps his mum. He just goes, "I've got your mum, mate, so go fight Batman. Because I want you to fight."
What?
It's really good, isn't it? What a good character motive. They took his mum. Now, you could argue that there's kind of almost a bit more depth to that, because Lex Luthor was trying to make weapons to take down Superman, right?
I mean,
he had a bunch of
I
kryptonite.
don't see how that makes any sense.
Yeah, I know. But Lex Luthor had a bunch of kryptonite, right? He was going to make weapons to take out Superman. Which, fair enough. Batman stole it all, so it kind of makes sense for Lex Luthor to be like, right, I don't have the kryptonite anymore. Batman does. So I might as well set them up, just in case Batman can kill Superman for me. So I guess that's kind of an interesting idea, but it's not. But and they really want it to be about the characters, but they don't do anything to actually make you care about the characters. So there's no real development of who Superman is and what he stands for. There's a tiny bit of what Batman stands for, but we barely know anything about that version of Batman, so it's really hard to care. Lex Luthor is just pissing around, being a bit of a lunatic, with no real motivation for being a bit of a lunatic. He just does that.
Wow.
It never really lingers on anything long enough to solidify a point. It just kind of keeps moving around, shifting in direction and stuff. The things that make it good, and there's a couple of them. When the fight finally starts, when they finally do the Batman versus Superman thing in the title, it's good. Zack Snyder is good at directing action. but it lasts for like 7 minutes. There's like 7 minutes of Batman and Superman fighting. 7 minutes it's my estimation. They might have fought for longer than that, but I'm using the number 7 minutes because that's how long Godzilla was on screen for in his movie, and I just want to make a comparison point to that because it's basically the same thing. It's like you've gone to a movie to see Batman and Superman fight. There is no Batman and Superman fighting for like, I mean, it could be more than 7 minutes, but quite frankly, that's what it felt like. So, you know, the other thing is like the action is cool, it looks good, but without a basis for without like knowing much about the characters or caring, action is wasted, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
A fight scene is only as important as the character behind it. Like, I'm trying to think of like, okay, in Ant-Man, when there's that final confrontation between Scott and Yellow Jacket, it's important because you know he's fighting to defend his family, right? So there's meaning there. In Batman vs Superman, you don't know what any of these people are fighting for, so you're just kind of like, all right, I guess they're fighting. That's cool.
Well, they're just fighting because they have bad attitudes and don't like each other, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you want to know why they stop fighting? And this is one of the dumbest things in the movie.
Why?
They stop fighting because both of their mums are called Martha. Oh yeah.
What?
Okay, so Superman's like, basically, both their mums are called Martha, right? And Superman's like, they've got Martha. And then Batman's like, why are you saying that name? That's my mum's name. What you on about? And then Lois Lane shows up and she's like, dude, that's his mum's name. And then Batman's like, oh, dude, that means he's a person. I shouldn't be fighting him. I should help him. And it's like, oh, whoa. It's so dumb.
I thought you were going to say it turned out they were brothers, so they couldn't they couldn't get married, just like the people in the manga I read.
What a callback right there. That was great.
Oh yeah.
Also, the other best things in the movie, Wonder Woman, she's cool, but again, right, she shows up for a couple of scenes early on as Diana Prince or whatever, and she's just mysterious woman. That's the character there. You know nothing about her, you know nothing about what she stands for, you know nothing about who she is. She's just a mysterious woman. And then when she does show up in the fight scene at the end, they try and make it act like, oh look, she's finally here, but it's like, I don't know who this is. I don't know this character. I don't know. Stop making it all dramatic that she's finally showed up to the battle when I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this character. I mean, I know she's a Wonder Woman, obviously, because I'm not an idiot,
it's just like, fan service. You know, it's not like...
Yeah, it's just like...
And that's the problem with certain movies like this, either movies that are based off comic books or based off anything else, is they'll put stuff in there and be like, this is a big deal because you all know who this is, but we're not really supposed to because this is the first time we're seeing this movie. And it's not working into the details of a movie as much as it is being like, you all know who Wonder Woman is. So...
Yeah, like, she does nothing for the story at all. She's just there so that when they're fighting Doomsday, and there's a bunch of flashy lightning and stuff, and it's just like, ow, my eyes. I'll get to that in a bit. But when it's just so that she can fight Doomsday while they piss around getting a kryptonite weapon or some drivel. But her shots are cool. Her fight scene is cool. It's just like, it's only like a 5-minute fight scene, so it's like, A, I don't care about this character, so whatever, and B, and I guess it's cool. It looks cool, but that's it.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who the best character in the film is? The most interesting character in this entire film?
Martha?
Who is there for 20... Not Martha, god damn it. He's there for 20 seconds, I think. It might be more. It's the Flash.
Oh, he's in there!
Okay, so there's... Oh, actually, I'm going to whine about something in a second. This film relies on dream sequences, hallucinations, and other nonsense way too much. Like, the hour and a half of setup I was on about earlier, like, probably about half of that is dream sequences. It really irritated me. I was just like, I don't know what's happening anymore. But one of those quote-unquote dream sequences is one where the Flash comes through a portal in time, which he can do because he can run so fast he can time travel, and basically is like, Bruce... And he just shouts a load of cryptic "I'm from the future" stuff at Bruce Wayne, and then goes. And it's the best scene because it's like, I like this Flash. He's cool, and then it contributes nothing to the story apart from setting up the Flash movie and future Justice League movies. But I have hope that the Flash can be cool on screen, so hopefully that'll work. And also, there's an Easter egg where there's basically LexCorp has a bunch of files on other like metahumans. One of them's the Flash, one of them's Aquaman, and one of them is Cyborg. And they basically show like 10-second clips of each of them having been caught on camera. And like the Flash one is he's not even in costume. He's just a dude buying some milk, and then the shop he's in gets robbed, and he just like it cuts out as he runs off to save the guy. And it's the most like actual heroics with motivation behind it scene in the entire movie. Everyone else saves people for their own personal gain in that movie. The Flash in his 10-second thing like actually saves a guy because he's a hero.
Nice.
So yeah. Basically, the whole thing is really poorly paced. It's a mess of just everything being thrown in your face at all times. The only good things I've got out of this movie are maybe future movies will be good, which is it's like the opposite of what Marvel did, because Marvel did some not so great movies to build up a really good one. They've done a not so good movie, hopefully that will be building up some really good ones. Probably not though, because it's DC, but you know.
Nice.
The final thing I just want to say is that because they Dark Knighted the hell out of it and they made it all dark and gritty, which doesn't work, by the way, because it's Superman, so stop trying.
Yeah.
Like, making something dark and, like, gritty, it works if it's a street-level thing. Like, it works for Daredevil on Netflix series. It doesn't work for Batman vs. Superman. And they did it so badly that basically my eyes started to adjust to the darkness of every single shot, and then every now and then there would be an explosion, and my eyes would hurt. Like, my eyes would ache a little bit because I was just getting eye strain. It's like when you're in the dark for a long time and then you turn the light on and your eyes are just like, God, I was adjusted to the dark.
My pupils
it's
are
like that,
constricting.
but just sudden explosions. And you're just like, this hurts my eyes. Stop. Please. Zack Snyder, stop. You're not Christopher Nolan. You can't make this work.
Wow.
So, yeah. It has some decent ideas, but it doesn't explore any of them in enough detail or well enough to actually make it work. So Batman vs. Superman, the rant is over.
Thank goodness.
The Lego Batman movie is going to be better, so at least we've got that.
Good. Oh man.
But
I was so bored for most of that. Not because the things you were saying
imagine
were
how
interesting,
I feel.
but I was
Imagine how I feel listening to you talk about cat books. Come on.
You want me to rant about cat books? About how you want me to go into detail about all their names?
Don't slate my depthy over-analysis of Batman vs. Superman when you were on about cat books earlier.
Hey,
like, come on.
They are wonderful.
It's just rude.
You know, sometimes some of the stories are hit or miss, but that's to be expected when there's 40 plus out right now. But some of them were quite wonderful.
Yeah, well, good. It's good to hear. How interesting. Don't diss my Batman vs. Superman.
I'm not
Or I'm gonna
dissing
watch some really,
your rant. I'm just
watch
saying
some really boring movies, and you're gonna have to listen to me talk about. I'm gonna watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you're gonna have to listen to me talk about that for like ever.
No, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm gonna say nope, Dan. That's the one you're lying about.
Raphael,
that's the one you didn't see, and you're gonna say nope,
Raphael
I saw it. And I'm saying no, you didn't, and we're gonna move on.
And Machiavelli and Vincent Van Gogh.
Salvador Dali.
Vincent Van Gogh is he's your favorite.
He's my favorite turtle,
isn't he? Yeah, I love Van Gogh.
Yeah. And Edgar Degas. Claude Monet.
Bob Ross.
That's the rat's name, right? Claude Monet.
Yeah, yep. What are we talking about? Are we done? Now that I've done my Batman vs. Superman rant.
I suppose we're done.
Rant of the century. Are we finished? Is this the show? Can I go back to not talking to you for a month now?
No. You have to talk to me every day.
Tune in next month, guys, where I will have hopefully watched some interesting movies, and QJ will have British Harry Potter things to do. Just going to remind you that you have to do that.
Bring in some phrases.
And if you want me to watch a movie, leave a comment. Alright, bye guys. We're done now.
Bye guys, have a good month.
I'm really thirsty, I need a drink. That rant just like dried my mouth out hardcore. Bye.
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 Bye. Espeon, come here. Oh, she's not in my lap, I can't make her meow.
Alright, bye.